previously we looked into on the amount that we can farm endgame wise after the honeymoon stage, all that good stuff, right? Now I do want to kind of show off the event so you guys are all aware on how when a new character is introduced, how the events are actually looking like. Because one thing which I will say with Bleach Resonance is that whenever a new character releases and then all the events that's planned specifically for that character, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good, it's pretty decent. Obviously we're going to be excluding if there's going to be any more like login events and whatnot, so but I'll get into that in just a second. But I'm sure you guys are already aware, but if you haven't checked your inbox, make sure to do so. There was an issue with the guild system, and they pretty much as an apology gave a free multi along with 300 jades, so yeah, can't go wrong with that. Hopefully we can get some more rewards for hitting some good milestone for downloads and whatnot, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But so far so good with how we are being treated. I am extremely happy. Anyway, alright, so when the HITSUGAYA event releases, obviously there's going to be a banner character, or of course there's going to be a banner character. There's going to be a banner for the character, and then as you guys can see separately, there will be his weapons banner. Now this was back when the weapon and the stamp card were both summonable. Obviously times have changed. The stamp card is now a free-to-play resource or material card, call it what you will, for our characters, so that is something that we no longer have to worry about. I just will say that right now. Now prior to all of that, the developers did actually make it so that the stamp card was actually farmable, so we know again with how things are being dealt right now that going forward obviously it's going to be farmable, but I'm curious to see on if they would actually go the extra mile and provide us with the weapon card in a free-to-play manner. But pretty much as you guys can see, there are 6 stages. You got the story mode, you got the event dice mode, you've got the challenge mode, you've got the this is just to kind of pull you to the gacha pool, so that's fine. Again, you've got the this is like a daily battle fight mode that you can do, and then this is the character trial, of course. Now I have done the maths going over, because of course in the previous video, again like I said, we spoke about endgame, and the one thing which I wanted to take into consideration was events. Now obviously again there are a new character every 2 weeks, so technically speaking we've got 2 events to look out for. Now again, this is me excluding if there's any more like login events and whatnot through the game itself, excluding it from the HITSUGAYA event that we're looking at right now. So in particular through the challenges, you guys can see Momo's kit is completely free, by the way. The SR Momo, her kit will be given completely free as long as you do the challenges. For the most part these challenges are in correlation to the Ginfight and I believe the dice event. There's a few login challenges and whatnot there, but Momo's kit is completely free, I will say that right now. Now the amount of jades that is given from the challenges here, we're looking around about 550. Now as you guys can see right here, HITSUGAYA's card, his stamp card is free, so obviously if you're wondering how they're going to do stamp cards, are they going to implement it into the game later on, who knows, but as it stands right now, when a new character releases, the exclusiveness of getting their stamp card will be through the event itself, and obviously here's one of them through the challenges. I assume that they'll make it so that it is farmable, because if a stamp card is free, they might make it so that the singular copy is farmable from the event, and then if you want the remaining version, they could implement it into the current game mode that we have right now. So it's there, it's giving more playtime for the game. Obviously we're going to need a lot of RNG play to help us out, but you guys get the idea. I'm hoping they just make it so that it's all farmable in game. Maybe there's like an event shop. Again, I do suspect it to be changed up to what we've seen so far, because again, this is a time where stamp cards weren't free to play, or wasn't even a thing, or wasn't even farmable. So that's why I say that with the event, just suspect things to be changing when next week, that is. I was about to say when it drops. Yeah, it's dropping next week. So obviously as you do the challenges, there are other resources to gain, dices that will then correlate over for you to do the dice event, which I don't know why I clicked over next. So we've got 550 jade so far. Obviously character trial, every time a new character releases, it's an extra 20, so I'll just throw that on. Unfortunately here Momo wasn't giving us jades, which I'm very surprised about. I'm hoping they do that, but If not, it's not the end of the world. It's only a -20. So these are like your daily fights that you can do. As you guys can see, these are the currency that you need, resource to be built, and again, this does correlate over to the challenges once again. And obviously, the first stage is 20. Now, the way I calculated was I did 20 per fight, but I'm almost confident to say that the jades did go up the level of difficulty. But I'm gonna play it safe, and I just counted, was it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so 120 jades right there. So yep, that's what we're kind of counting. And once again, going back to the character pool, we got the story mode. Now the story mode, I just roughly counted 120 base. I do think that there's a little bit more to it. I roughly can't remember to what amount, but I'm just going to play it safe and say 120. But I'm almost confident to say that it's a little bit more, but we'll just go for 120 so far. And then of course you've got the event, which is very nice. So through the event, or the dice, you just kind of go around collecting points, and then as you guys can see, it fills up the bar at the bottom. There's jades there. There's a premium ticket right there. So I'm hoping they kind of extend this too, because as you guys can see, it stops at 1400. I'm pretty confident in saying it also went further than that. I don't know if it just stopped at that one premium ticket, but yeah, I'm hoping that the dice event does get a little bit juiced up in terms of rewards and currency. So that's 200 right there. So once again, there are challenges to get more dice. So there's that. So just doing a quick little roll. Fairly simple, decent mode. It's pretty fun because again, you might, I mean, you've got some RNG bonus plays and whatnot, and you might have to fight some enemies. This was, in my opinion, the cream of the crop in terms of an event. So I'm hoping this is like an ongoing thing, but it was like a boss fight where the blue team would have the upper hand, and as you guys can see, there's a whole set of buffs and buff towards the enemy that you can provide, which will give you the most points. And obviously it is a leaderboard system, all that good stuff. This was a lot of fun, I will say. This was one of the big reasons why I thoroughly enjoyed the event side of this game. So I'm very looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this. So something to take note, boys. And by the way, to get the buffs, as you guys can see, they've got those stars. Those are through the challenges. So you do the challenges, you get those stars, you get your buffs, buff towards the enemies unlocked, complete that fight, and then that will then give you most points, and then obviously on the leaderboard you'll score high. So that's kind of like the premise of all, right? So there's that. So as you guys can see, challenges, and I think we're able to farm around about 400 jade from this. Unfortunately, I didn't check the leaderboard currency rewards on what we get if you score high. So, but again, there's jades to be farmed there. So, and I think for the most part, that's everything, right? So yeah, all in all, what I managed to calculate so far through the event was around about 1400. Obviously, where we last left off, we had farmable around about 3900. Now, with the 1400 that I calculated so far that we've seen in game, I am almost confident to say that because we're so close to a multi, that through the event itself, at that given moment, we're pretty much at that point guaranteed a multi. So 1600 I think will be easily obtainable through the events themselves. I'm hoping we get a little bit more. Again, things are to change because again, this is from the CN beta, and yeah, as you guys saw right there, I got really lucky. So if we just round it up to 1600, and then if we add on the amount that I've calculated being the 3900, we're looking around about 5500 jades on a monthly basis, and that is just from one event. So then if we add that on with the second character event, that's 7100 jades. But that's currently where we were beforehand. They're not going to make things worse. I mean, look at where the game is at right now. I do not think that they'll make things worse. If anything, things are only going to get better. Things are only going to get better. I do hope that they do add like some form of event shop, because I would not be opposed for some resource grinding for an event shop. That would be very much appreciated. But either or, I do suspect that there's going to be even more that we can farm from new character events. Again, you've got to keep in mind, I'm just specifically looking to the event that I showed you guys. Obviously, there might be within the base game some event logins, some events going on during that time, of course. So again, there's a lot more to look into, a lot more that more than likely will be happening, and I do believe that in terms of with what we can farm every time a new character releases, it's going to be a lot more to just 1600. But the fact that we can calculate and say that, right, when it gets to the end game stage, we can guarantee ourselves 4 multis on a monthly basis. Again, that is huge. That is huge. So if you save up, or if you've got pity on a character and you let that cross over or carry over, of course, you know, it's giving people that fair shot. Obviously, you can't get both those characters if that's what you're looking for, but it still gives people that fair chance. I know some people are going to commit to just save and save and save after they get, because I mean, where the game is at right now, you know, the Slash team are amazing. The Thrust team is cooking with Gas with Tozen and Ikaku, of course. Strike Yoruichi is still kicking ass, I'll give her that. And then of course HITSUGAYA will come in and elevate the Spirit team, of course. So, you know, with how things are looking right now, it's pretty strong with the characters and the team comps that we've got going on. So, you know, if people do choose to save, and again, as I always forget, when you're summoning, you're getting those tickets, and you can exchange those tickets for summoning tickets. So in terms of the free-to-play fairness on what this game has, if you save up and you're patient, and hey, if RNG's on your side, you might get blessed, because again, when you're summoning, you're only going after that character, there's nothing else getting in your way, and the rates are freaking good. I'm sorry to say, but Bleach Horizons right now is cooking with gas, with giving you that fair experience, whilst on the side giving pay-to-win players that incentive, but also giving free-to-play players that fair shot. So that's kind of how we're looking. That's how the HITSUGAYA event will be coming about. You guys got a rough idea on what the HITSUGAYA event will be doing, but again, I do suspect things are going to be shifting and changing, only because during this time, the stamp card wasn't summonable, and I do assume that they'll try and make it farmable, which is going to be very, if they make it so that the HITSUGAYA stamp card is farmable, that is a massive W in my opinion, a massive W. So we'll have to wait and see, but again, Momo, I can confirm her kit is 100% free. Her kit will be 100% free. It'll be through the challenges, without a shadow of a doubt. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, oh, there you go. If you guys wanted to see his build, there you go. That's kind of like the requirement. So I've already done a video talking about why you need to build up Rukia, and prime example. Prime example. She is pretty much HITSUGAYA's buddy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll end it there. That's all of HITSUGAYA's events, and there's a lot more jades to be farmed. And once again, everything that we're seeing right here, it's going to correlate over to the next new character that releases with their event, and so on and so forth.